covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
We have a lot of issues that aren't necessarily Chico-centric, which are kind of being shot down and not handled well enough at the state capitol, and those are what I want to fight for.
From City Hall to the Capitol, Chico's mayor explains his next move in an Action News Now exclusive. Plus,
the organizational session for the 2025-26 regular session of the California Assembly will be called to order.
Why some state lawmakers want to spend millions to Trump-proof California. But first, shining light on a historic piece of local infrastructure. But first, breaking news, Shasta Arson Task Force says it found human remains in a house fire.
Now, the task force says that the fire started in the area of Olinda Road and Olive Street in Anderson. An investigation into the fire is ongoing, but the task force says so far it has not found anything suspicious, and the fire appears to be accidental.
The city of Oroville is getting ready to break ground on its Green Light project.
Well, Action News Now reporter Brianda Lemus shows us the plan to bring light back to the historic Table Mountain Bridge.
It will be a beautiful addition to the town.
In early 2018, taking a walk with my wife across the bridge at sunset with my two wiener dogs, and it was just a beautiful sight, such a beautiful view. And we sat and looked at the bridge as the sun was going down, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to have lights on that bridge?
The Oroville Rotary Club is celebrating its centennial year by bringing modern LED lights to the Table Mountain Bridge. It's called the Green Light Project. This bridge has been closed off to vehicles for over 40 years. Back in the early 1990s, it did have lights though.
It's been one of those things I've been visualizing for a long time, and I think myself and our entire community will just be excited to see such a beautiful display on such a beautiful historic icon. And I think it'll bring a lot of pride and a lot of joy to our community.
The city of Oroville will consider contributing $5,000 to the Rotary Club for the Green Light Project. Councilmember Sean Weber brought it forward as an agenda item.
Me personally, I think we'd be foolish to let go of an opportunity for us to invest in such an awesome project that I believe is going to absolutely enhance the downtown experience. So once that bridge is all lit up and it could do its different displays, different lights, and different seasons and different reasons, and I think it's going to be super cool.
If you want a personal piece on the bridge, you can purchase a light. Each light ranges from $100 to $1,000. There will be a website where you can see exactly where your light is when it's completed. The Rotary Club has raised over $360,000 and is ready to break ground on December 9th. The lighting is expected to be completed in May 2025. In Oroville, Brianda Lemus for Action News Now.
I can't wait to see that. You can find all the information to purchase a light or donate to the work as part of this article on our website.
A suspicious death investigation is underway in Corning. CAL FIRE says crews found Raquel Luz Hernandez Arcos dead after a house fire that happened Saturday. The Tehama County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit is now looking into the circumstances surrounding her death. An autopsy is scheduled to determine exactly how she died. And if you know anything about it, you're asked to call the Major Crimes Unit. And here's a live look over the Sundial Bridge in Redding. A lot of people out getting that evening walk, and they're all wearing coats and mittens, I would assume.
I would think so, and probably getting colder by the hour. And Camille Acevedo joins us now from the Storm Tracker Weather Center. How is it looking right now, Camille?
No, it's looking a little chilly, Haley and Alan. I know it was a little mild today. We had some warmer temps than what we've been seeing, but it's cooling down, and so it's a good idea if people heading out tonight to go over there to the Sundial Bridge to bring a jacket or gloves or scarves or something to keep you warm. Today we saw some mild temperatures, and then we also had some clouds in our area with some light winds, but that's going to clear out by tomorrow. And then we also can expect to see some chilly overnight lows. Let's take a look at the temperatures right now. It's currently 49 in Redding, so it is a little chilly, and 50s in the rest of our area for the most part. And then wind speed, we have some calm winds in Redding, and I know earlier in Chico before the system is currently updating, it was at about 5 miles per hour, so we also have some light winds, and we're not going to see any increase in winds at all. And coming up, I'll have that 7-day forecast for you.
Thank you, Camille.
Chico's outgoing mayor announced today that he'll be running for state assembly in 2026. Andrew Coolidge told me that one key priority would be tackling the insurance crisis plaguing our state. Do you have any more specific strategies that you think are unique to you that have not been suggested yet, especially when you talk about key goals like the insurance problem here in California?
You know, the insurance problem's huge. I think I have a great ability to reach out, both folks on the other side, people who are part of that. You know, obviously there's a whole bunch of folks and issues surrounding that that are very specific but included in it. So typically what I've done, and this is what I've done on the Chico City Council, is usually go and talk to all those people. You kind of really get an idea of what they all want, bring them all to the table and see how you can move forward with the solution. A lot of people just to go, hey, you know what, I want to push forward with this one particular side of the issue. You got to bring the insurance companies in, you got to have the insurance commissioner here, you've got to talk to the people who are actually in wildfire areas, you got to talk to the ag businesses being affected, the other folks being affected, homeowners down in the cities whose insurance rates are going through the roof. Bring them all to the table and go, look, we need to push forward on this, how can we get it done? You know, we've actually had some of our local legislators who, you know, didn't push forward with that program, and I was very disappointed by that. So we need to keep those insurance companies at the table in California, and at times force them to be at the table in California so they actually move forward and actually will provide this insurance for folks.
You know, we talked a lot about the accomplishments and some of the hardships as more than 10 years of being mayor, and then sort of what led up to this decision to run for state assembly. So if anybody at home wants to watch that whole 20-minute long interview, it's unedited, it's on our website. Just find this story on our homepage, on the Action News Now homepage.
We'll also learn what's next for Assembly Republican leader James Gallagher, who just began his final term as the District 3 representative.
New at 6, Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe spoke with Gallagher today, and she joins us now. So, Margot, exactly what are his plans?
Haley Allen, he didn't really have an answer for me for what comes next. Now, I did ask Gallagher if we could see him make a run for governor or for Congress, but he has an entire 2 years ahead of him with his term, and he told me his mindset is to finish strong during his last term.
I really want to finish strong, and you know, there's been a lot of priorities we've worked on: water, wildfire prevention. You know, these are the things I want to continue to push: getting real solutions, cutting our costs, reining in bureaucracies. So that's going to be my focus: is just finishing this job that I'm in.
And as Gallagher was reelected as the Republican Assembly leader today, he says Republicans are already getting started on some of his plans that he mentioned, like repealing the gas tax that was approved earlier this year by the state's Air Resource Board. But with the Democratic majority and a Democratic governor, that would appear to be a tough challenge ahead.
Yeah, I know that's a key point that the Republicans in the legislature want to do. All right, thanks, Margot. Well, today, the Assembly Republican Caucus reelected Gallagher, as Margot just said, as the leader for the coming legislative session. Gallagher has led the caucus since 2022. James Gallagher also welcomed 6 newly elected members, including 2 previously Democrat-held seats. Assemblyman Gallagher is just one of dozens of lawmakers at the state capitol today for Governor Newsom's special session to Trump-proof, so-called, California. Newsom wants the Democratic supermajority to approve spending more money to fight anticipated federal challenges. Today, one Assembly member introduced legislation that would set aside $25 million to pay for legal fees to respond to potential attacks by the Trump administration on civil rights, climate change, immigration, and abortion access policies. California sued the first Trump administration more than 120 times to various levels of success. In January of 2021, Cal Matters estimated the state spent about $41 million on the lawsuits, but said expenses would rise as a majority of the suits were ongoing.
A traffic stop turned into a miles-long high-speed chase. Reading police say they tried to pull over Zachary Evans for speeding on his motorcycle last night. This happened on North Market Street, but they say he just took off. They say Evans eventually did pull over, though, about 4.5 miles later, and they arrested him. Police say Evans had a gun on him and that he was on drugs. The CHP says a man's expected to be okay after being hit by a car in Chester. It happened at First Avenue south of 4th Street. Police say Pat Graham walked into the road after hearing a person argue with 2 people in a car. Officers say the passenger got out and chased after the person. Well, they say that's when the driver, Adrian Ruelas Jr., took off, hitting Graham. The CHP says both Ruelas and the passenger abandoned the scene. Now they've arrested Ruelas. Graham is expected to be all right. A new hurdle in an effort to honor veterans. New at 6, the next step to get the memorial at Chico High back on track.
But first, the Reading Bus Authority is putting its best route forward to connect rural communities.